Picture this. You meet someone in a coffee shop. They're reading your favorite book. You have an incredible first date. You fall in love. You get engaged. Everything is perfect. And then, 1 week before your wedding, they tell you something. Something that makes you look at them completely differently. Something that turns your perfect love story into the most uncomfortable dinner party conversation in history. That is the drama. A24's new film starring two of the biggest names in Hollywood right now, and one of the most unexpectedly twisted rom-coms in recent memory, released April 3, 2026, already dividing audiences clean down the middle. Today, we're breaking down everything you need to know. Who made it, who's in it, what actually happens, and whether it's worth your Friday night. Let's go. Section 1. First, who is Zendaya? The 30-second version. If you somehow don't know who Zendaya is in 2026, welcome back from wherever you've been. We missed you. Here's the speed run. Zendaya started on the Disney Channel, Shake It Up KC Undercover, before making her film breakthrough in Spider-Man Homecoming in 2017, Wikipedia, playing MJ opposite Tom Holland, who is now her real-life fiancé, which is either incredibly cute or the most on-brand thing a Disney kid has ever done. Then came Euphoria. Playing recovering addict Rue Bennett, she won 2 Primetime Emmy Awards for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Drama Series, becoming the youngest performer ever to win in that category. Wikipedia, twice, before turning 26. Then came Dune, then Dune Part 2, then Challengers, where she played a tennis prodigy in a love triangle so tense it made audiences physically uncomfortable in their seats, in the best possible way. And she filmed Euphoria, Dune Part 3, Spider-Man, and the drama essentially back-to-back. She once wrapped Euphoria at 4 in the morning and had a flight to Budapest to shoot Dune a few hours later. The woman does not sleep. She simply performs. Fun fact. During the press tour for the drama, Zendaya showed up to the premiere wearing a Vivienne Westwood dress she had originally worn to the Oscars in 2015, 11 years earlier. Her reasoning: something old. She committed fully to the wedding theme of the film on the actual red carpet. Stylist. That is the level of commitment we are dealing with. Section 2. And Robert Pattinson, the man who escaped Twilight. And then there's Robert Pattinson, who has had one of the most fascinating career trajectories in modern Hollywood. Here's his speedrun. He appeared as Cedric Diggory in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire in 2005. Then in 2008, he became the sparkling vampire Edward Cullen in Twilight, and the franchise's 5 films collectively grossed over $3 billion worldwide. From a film series about a vampire who cannot go in the sun, most actors would have coasted on that forever. Pattinson did the opposite. After Twilight, he deliberately pivoted to challenging independent films, working with auteur-directors including David Cronenberg, the Safdie brothers, Claire Denis, and Robert Eggers. The Safdie brothers' Good Time in 2017 was the turning point, a frantic crime thriller where Pattinson plays a desperate petty criminal, delivering a performance so removed from Edward Cullen that critics called it a revelation and career-defining. Then came The Batman in 2022, which grossed over $770 million worldwide and completely transformed his Hollywood status, back on top, but on his own terms. In 2026, he has the drama, The Odyssey with Christopher Nolan, and The Batman Part 2 in pre-production. Robert Pattinson is not having a moment. He's having a decade. Fun fact, Robert spent 3 entire days agonizing over a single line of dialogue in the drama, convinced there was a hidden meaning he was missing. He then spent 2 hours on the phone with Zendaya, who very calmly explained the line meant exactly what it said. 3 days, 1 line, 0 hidden meaning. Hollywood life. Method actor energy or man who overthinks things? Possibly both. Section 3. So, what is the drama actually about? Right, the film. In a suburb of Boston, Charlie, a British museum director played by Pattinson, and Emma, a bookstore clerk from Baton Rouge played by Zendaya, are engaged and 1 week away from their wedding. It starts like the coziest rom-com imaginable. Charlie spots Emma reading a novel in a coffee shop, anxiously approaches her and pretends to have read the same book, a lie he fails to maintain throughout the entire first date. Slate, adorable, relatable, classic. But as the wedding week counts down, Emma makes a confession, and that confession is where the rom-com politely steps aside and lets something much stranger take its place. We're keeping the twist spoiler-free here because A24 has specifically asked reviewers not to reveal it, and because honestly, going in blind makes the whole experience hit harder. What we will say is this: the film explores whether a love can survive dishonesty, and even more interestingly, whether love can withstand a kind of brutal honesty that forces you to see your partner in an entirely different light. Should I see it? Critics describe it as turning a rom-com about wedding jitters into a deep-dish think piece about the limits of condoning certain things, with an ending that doesn't quite work, but performance is so good you forgive it anyway. Fun fact: A24 ran the film's marketing through an actual newspaper romance advice column. They sent editors at a major Boston publication a fake engagement announcement packed with character details and plot hints that ran right next to the paper's real advice column on love. A movie marketing team placed a fictional engagement announcement in a real newspaper as a trailer in 2026. Respect. Section 4. The director, the studio, and why this is not your average rom-com. Let's talk about who made this, because the names behind the camera explain everything about what kind of film you're actually watching. The drama is written and directed by Christopher Borgli, whose previous film was the Golden Globe-nominated Dream Scenario, starring Nicolas Cage as a man who starts appearing in strangers' dreams, The Hollywood Reporter. So, the director's last film was about a man haunting the subconscious of random people across the world. His new one is a wedding rom-com. The tonal jump is deliberate. The discomfort is entirely on purpose. Ari Aster, the director of Hereditary and Midsommar, is a producer on the film through his square peg banner, The Hollywood Reporter. Let that settle. The man who made Hereditary, arguably the most traumatizing family drama in recent horror history, is producing a romantic comedy about a wedding. This is an A24 film, which means it will be visually stunning, emotionally complicated, and you will leave the cinema with a lot to say and very uncertain feelings about what you just watched. That is not a criticism, that is a promise. Easter egg. Zendaya and Robert Pattinson filmed the drama, The Odyssey with Christopher Nolan, and Dune Part 3 back-to-back-to-back. 3 major films shot consecutively. 3 completely different genres. 3 completely different worlds. Same 2 actors. They are currently the hardest-working screen partnership in Hollywood, and the internet has fully adopted them as a duo. Their chemistry on press tours alone has the internet in a chokehold. Section 5. Should you watch it? The critics gave it 77% on Rotten Tomatoes. The consensus reads, flirting with complex themes, the drama walks a tonal tightrope with impressive poise, thanks to career highlight performances by Robert Pattinson and Zendaya. Career highlight performances from 2 actors who have already had remarkable careers. That is not nothing. Is it a perfect film? No. Some critics found it frustratingly unsatisfying, a film that cooks up a complex banquet and then doesn't quite serve it. Is it the kind of film that you'll talk about for the entire drive home and then argue about over dinner? Absolutely yes. It's a film that starts as a love story and ends as a question. Specifically, what would you do? Where is your line? And what does your answer say about you? Which, for a movie that started with a man lying about having read a book, is a pretty extraordinary place to end up. The drama is in cinemas now. Zendaya and Robert Pattinson at the peak of their powers, in an A24 film produced by the director of Hereditary, directed by the man whose last movie was about haunting people's dreams. It is romantic, it is funny, it is deeply uncomfortable, and it is absolutely worth 90 minutes of your life. Just maybe don't watch it the night before your own wedding. Drop your take in the comments. Have you seen it? Did you see the twist coming? And is Zendaya and Robert Pattinson the screen duo of 2026? Like and subscribe. We're covering every film worth talking about this year, and trust us, there's a lot of them. See you next time.